Living alone and loving it is not about being lonely. It is about discovering who you truly are when the noise fades and the world slows down. If you have ever wondered whether living alone could actually become the best chapter of your life, then stay with me, because today I am going to share my top tips on how to not only survive living alone, but truly love it. This is not just about independence. This is about confidence, peace, growth, and building a life that feels completely yours. So before you scroll away, let me ask you something. When was the last time you sat in silence and actually enjoyed your own company? If that question feels uncomfortable, then this video is exactly for you. Living alone begins with mindset. Most people fear living alone because they associate it with isolation. But living alone is not isolation. It is self-connection. When you shift your thinking from "I am alone" to "I am free," everything changes. Freedom to design your routine. Freedom to decorate your space. Freedom to choose what energy enters your life. The first tip is embrace ownership of your space. Your home is no longer shared energy. It is your sanctuary. Make it reflect who you are. Choose colors you love. Arrange furniture how you like. Play music loudly or enjoy complete silence. Create a corner for reading, a small workout space, a cozy tea spot. When your environment reflects your personality, you start feeling empowered every time you walk through the door. The second tip is build strong daily routines. Structure creates stability. When you live alone, there is no one to remind you to wake up on time, clean the kitchen, or prepare meals. Discipline becomes your best friend. Create a morning ritual that sets the tone for your day. Maybe that is stretching, journaling, praying, meditating, or simply enjoying coffee without rushing. At night, build a wind-down routine that protects your sleep. When your days feel intentional, loneliness fades because your life feels organized, purposeful, and calm. The third tip is learn to enjoy your own company. This may sound simple, but it is powerful. Take yourself out for dinner. Go to the cinema alone. Walk in the park alone. Sit at a cafe alone. And observe how strong you feel when you realize you do not need someone beside you to enjoy life. Confidence grows in those moments. You stop waiting for company to experience joy. You become your own best companion. Another important tip is master your finances. Living alone means financial responsibility becomes real. Track your expenses. Create a budget. Plan savings and emergency funds. Financial clarity reduces anxiety and increases confidence. Nothing feels more empowering than knowing you can support yourself independently. That independence brings peace that no relationship can replace. Now let us talk about loneliness, because yes, even when you love living alone, there will be moments when silence feels heavy. That is normal. The key is not to fear those moments, but to understand them. Loneliness often signals a need for connection, so schedule social time, call friends, visit family, join a gym, attend community events. Living alone does not mean cutting yourself off from the world. It means choosing your interactions intentionally. Self-growth is another beautiful gift of living alone. When you are alone, you confront yourself, your habits, your fears, your dreams. This is the perfect time to invest in personal development. Read books, listen to podcasts, learn a new skill, start an online course, maybe even start that YouTube channel you have been thinking about. Growth thrives in solitude because distraction is minimal. Health becomes extremely important when you live alone. Cook healthy meals for yourself, even when no one is watching. Exercise regularly, not just for appearance, but for mental clarity. Take care of your space. Clean regularly because your environment directly affects your mood. A tidy home equals a calmer mind. And when your body and home feel cared for, your spirit feels lighter. Let us talk about safety. Practical awareness matters. Ensure your doors and windows are secure. Build relationships with trustworthy neighbors. Share your location with close family when needed. Living alone is empowering, but being prepared enhances confidence without creating fear. Safety planning is strength, not paranoia. Another powerful tip is celebrate small wins. When you fix something in your home by yourself, celebrate. When you handle a difficult bill, celebrate. When you comfort yourself after a hard day, celebrate these moments. Build self-trust. The more you prove to yourself that you can handle life alone, the stronger you become. Create personal traditions, maybe Sunday movie nights, Friday self-care evenings, monthly goal review sessions. These traditions make your life feel rich and full. Living alone becomes a lifestyle, not a temporary situation. Now let us go deeper. Emotionally living alone teaches emotional independence. You learn to regulate your feelings without depending on someone else to fix them. When you feel sad, you learn healthy coping mechanisms. When you feel stressed, you create calming strategies. When you feel proud, you celebrate yourself. This emotional maturity is priceless. Comparison is dangerous, especially in the age of social media. When you see couples, families, group photos, remember that every lifestyle has challenges. Your journey is unique. Living alone is not lacking. It is different. And different can be powerful and beautiful. Another important point is boundaries. Living alone helps you understand what energy you allow into your space. You become selective about visitors, selective about relationships, selective about commitments, because you value your peace. Once you taste peace, you protect it fiercely. Spiritual connection often grows stronger in solitude, whether through prayer, meditation, reflection, or gratitude. Quiet time allows you to hear your inner voice more clearly. Clarity about your goals, your values, your direction in life becomes sharper when external noise decreases. Let me share something honest. Living alone does not mean you never desire companionship. It means you are not desperate for it. There is a big difference. You can want partnership without needing it. You can enjoy independence while being open to love. This balance creates healthy future relationships because you are choosing someone from strength, not fear. Productivity often increases when living alone. Distractions decrease. You control your schedule. You decide when to work, when to rest, when to create. Use this advantage wisely. Build something meaningful with your time. Write that book. Launch that business. Improve your skills. Solitude can become your greatest advantage. Gratitude transforms everything. Instead of thinking, I am alone, think, I have my own space. I have control. I have peace. Gratitude rewires your brain to focus on blessings rather than absence. As we move toward the end, let me remind you, living alone is not a waiting room for life. It is life. Do not pause your dreams until someone joins you. Travel alone. Explore new restaurants alone. Take photos alone. Celebrate birthdays alone, if necessary. Life is happening now, not later. If you are currently living alone and struggling, know that adjustment takes time. Build routines. Invest in yourself. Stay connected with positive people. And most importantly, treat yourself with kindness. You are building strength, resilience, and self-respect. Living alone and loving it is about becoming your own safe place, your own comfort, your own motivation. When you achieve that, no matter who enters or leaves your life, you remain steady. You remain grounded. You remain fulfilled. So today, make a decision. Do not just live alone. Live powerfully. Live intentionally. Live joyfully. Design a life that feels like freedom, not emptiness. And when you look around your space tonight, instead of hearing silence, hear peace. Instead of feeling loneliness, feel independence. Instead of fearing solitude, embrace it, because this chapter might just be the one that transforms you the most. Thank you for being here. Remember, you are not alone in living alone. You are growing, you are evolving, and you are stronger than you think. And now let us go even deeper, because the longer you live alone, the more layers you begin to discover about yourself. And one of the most powerful lessons you learn is self-awareness. When there is no distraction, no constant conversation, no background noise from other people, you begin to hear your thoughts clearly. You begin to notice your patterns, your triggers, your habits, and instead of running from them, you finally have the space to understand them. Living alone becomes a mirror, and sometimes that mirror shows things you need to improve. But instead of feeling judged, you feel empowered, because you now have control to change. Another powerful lesson of living alone is decision-making, confidence. Every decision, from what to cook to how to spend your weekend, becomes yours alone. And at first, this might feel overwhelming. But over time, it builds incredible confidence. You stop second-guessing yourself because you practice choosing daily. Small decisions strengthen your ability to make big decisions. Career moves, relocation, investments, relationships. Living alone quietly trains you to trust yourself. And self-trust is one of the most valuable assets you can ever develop. Let us also talk about creativity, because solitude fuels creativity. When your environment is quiet, your imagination becomes louder. Ideas flow more freely. Whether it is writing, designing, planning, business ideas, or simply dreaming about your future, you give your mind room to expand. Many successful people credit their biggest breakthroughs to time spent alone, because silence creates clarity, and clarity creates direction. There is also something deeply powerful about learning to sit with boredom in a world addicted to constant stimulation. Boredom feels uncomfortable, but boredom is where innovation begins. When you resist the urge to constantly scroll your phone or seek distraction, you start thinking deeply, you start planning, you start reflecting. This mental stillness strengthens focus and emotional control, and over time you become less reactive and more intentional in how you respond to life. Living alone also teaches resilience. There will be days when you feel tired, overwhelmed, maybe even discouraged. And there will be no one physically present to immediately comfort you. And in those moments, you discover inner strength. You learn how to calm yourself, how to motivate yourself, how to push forward even when no one is watching. This builds quiet confidence, the type of confidence that does not need validation, because it is built privately through experience. Another important tip is maintain meaningful connections intentionally. When you live alone, relationships require effort. Schedule regular calls with family. Plan meetups with friends. Join online communities or local groups. Do not isolate yourself, but also do not overbook your time. Find a balance between solitude and social energy. Quality matters more than quantity. Choose relationships that uplift you, respect your boundaries, and add positivity to your life. Let us talk about personal standards. Living alone allows you to raise them. When you are responsible for your own environment, you naturally become more aware of what you tolerate, whether it is mess, negativity, drama, or unhealthy habits. You begin to realize that peace is precious, and anything that disturbs that peace becomes less attractive. This clarity often leads to better life choices and stronger boundaries. Another powerful mindset shift is understanding that being alone is temporary, but independence is permanent. Whether you live alone for 1 year or 10 years, the skills you develop will stay with you forever. Cooking, cleaning, budgeting, emotional regulation, time management. These are life skills that strengthen your foundation. And no matter what future relationships look like, you will never lose the independence you built during this chapter. Self-respect grows quietly. When you keep promises to yourself, when you say you will wake up early and you do, when you say you will save money and you do, when you say you will exercise and you do, these small acts build integrity with yourself. And integrity builds confidence, and confidence builds peace. Now imagine this. You come home after a long day. You unlock your door, step inside, and everything is exactly how you left it. No noise, no chaos, just calm. You put your keys down, maybe change into comfortable clothes, prepare your favorite meal, and sit in complete peace. That moment is powerful because it belongs entirely to you. It is your safe space, your reset zone, your personal sanctuary. And when you start appreciating these simple moments, gratitude naturally increases. Living alone also helps you detach from unhealthy dependence. Sometimes when we live with others, we unconsciously depend on them for emotional stability or constant validation. But when you live alone, you realize you are capable of generating your own happiness. You create your own motivation, your own comfort, your own encouragement. And that realization changes everything. Another deep benefit is clarity in relationships. When you live alone, you learn what you truly want in a partner or friend, because you are not filling space out of fear. You are choosing connection from wholeness. This means future relationships are built on compatibility, not loneliness. And that difference protects your heart and your peace. Let us also acknowledge growth is not always comfortable. Some nights may feel heavy. Some days may feel silent. But growth rarely feels easy. The discomfort you feel sometimes is not loneliness. It is transformation. You are shedding old patterns. You are becoming more self-sufficient. You are evolving into someone stronger, and evolution requires adjustment. One powerful exercise while living alone is self-reflection. Journaling. Write about your goals, your fears, your progress, your gratitude. Track your growth month by month. You will be surprised how much you change. When you intentionally observe yourself, progress becomes visible, and visibility builds motivation. Another tip is create goals for this season of your life. Do not let this chapter drift without direction. Set financial goals, fitness goals, personal development goals, maybe even spiritual goals. Having purpose makes solitude powerful because you know you are building something meaningful. Also, protect your mental environment. Limit negative news. Limit toxic content. Choose what you consume carefully, because when you live alone, your environment influences you deeply. Fill your space with positivity, uplifting music, educational content, inspiring books, and peaceful energy.